What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Sunday. It is time to get ready for the week ahead. We got Rachel. We got a heavy hitter on the night. Well, watch out. Gonna get you primed for the week ahead. And Caesar and Nathan, and there's me. Man, you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. Caesar. Hey, Caesar.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, how was your day?
My day was good. Went to church, taught a class, and went to the gym. So, God and gains, baby. We're doing good.
There it is. The 2 G's. We get one more G, right? 3 G's.
Gratitude.
There you go.
Did you want me to read the Hope Shot Clarity
Yeah,
statement?
I was just trying to change it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just hit you with it hey, Caesar, this is your job.
Let me do something totally different than I do. And let me read the Hope Shot Clarity statement.
Let's do that. All right, that sounds great.
We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thanks, Caesar. All right. So we got what's up, Debbie? Good to see you tonight. We got Sean. Good to see you. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because we all know a little bit about that, right? So tonight, I'm going to let Caesar kick it off.
Oh, I put zero thought into this. Thank you so
much. You're good at the good, the bad. Now, I want to hear more about this Sunday thing. You know, and we just started brushing the surface of Sunday, see how your day was, and we have to keep going, you know?
So, but the good, the bad, and the ugly is basically we share it all. You know, when we go into these topics, when we share our story, we don't beat around the bush. We share the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, I want people to hear the story, like the triumph part, the stuff we overcame, the blessings that came, but you can't tell that without telling where we came from. And it's so important for the new people to identify with us that we share the mess, because at this point, I'll speak for myself. At this point in my recovery, if I had met me when I was brand new, I'm not relatable anymore. Because when I looked at people that had 10 years and 9 years, like those people looked unapproachable to me. But the guy that had a couple years or the guy that had 1 year, like I was like, okay, well, that's a little more attainable in my mind. Let me talk to that guy. So I don't ever want to get out of touch with who I was. So I share it all. You know, we go from hopeless drug addicts to true assets to our society. And, you know, I can actually say that confidently, where I don't feel like I'm being a fraud. You know, we do the work in our community and we are there for our fellows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're uniquely, you know, fit to do this type of work because of the crap that we went through. You know, I've got, Nate too. I mean, I've got tattoos all over my arms. Those tattoos are covering up track marks. You know, that's the reality of where we came from. And, you know, I go to these 12-step meetings and I hear some of the people on a weekly basis just share about win after win after win and just the great things. And I'm going to just quote the book and this and that. Listen, we all have bad days and we can't receive help if we don't share the crap that's going on in our life. The old saying that squeaky wheel gets the grease, closed mouth don't get fed. Well, if I never tell you what's going on between my ears, then how can I receive any help? And I truly believe that my God works through people. So I have to open my mouth and let people know what's going on between this crap between my ears. And yeah, we were talking about it this morning. April was in there and a few other awesome people. And we were talking about the squirrel cage that is our mind, and when I'm spiritual and I'm doing all the things right, my mind is a peaceful place. But when I'm in a rush and I'm doing life and I'm not putting that recovery spirituality first, excuse the term, my mind is a shit show, and it's filled with self-centered fears. It's filled with, oh my God, am I going to lose something I have? Am I not going to get something I want? Oh my God, what about these people's opinions of me? And it's me, I, and there's no room for God or recovery when I'm just stuffed with that stuff. So I have to open my mouth. I have to talk to my people. I have to share what's going on. And when I do share the bad and the ugly, whether it's the past or what I'm going through currently, I'm able to receive help, and it diminishes whatever problem I have. In my mind, it's the biggest deal in the world. It's whatever it is. It's like the boogeyman. As soon as I open my mouth up and like I call Justin, I'm like, oh man, I'm going through this and that. And I realized I just sound like a baby. And like, oh, like, this is ridiculous. It was such a little thing. And I've let it eat up all of my time and my brain energy for whatever it was for that day, 1 hour, 8 hours, however long I felt like holding on to it until I picked up the phone or walked over to somebody and talked to them about it. So, I think it's important that the further along we get in this thing, we don't just share the pretty parts of recovery. We share what it's really like to be in long-term recovery. We have shit days. We have beautiful days. But no matter what the day we have is, it's better than a day I had when I was in active addiction. Even my worst days are just light years better than waking up with that monkey on my back, knowing I had to do what I had to do to get right for the day. So I think it's important. And if we can be vulnerable and we can share that kind of stuff, then it gives somebody else power to open their mouth so they don't feel like they have to be perfect, if that makes sense. Because, brothers and sisters, none of us are perfect. It's not going to happen. You can strive for perfection, but be happy with growth, because we're never going to be perfect. And I struggle with the perfectionism thing. I won't label them, but I'm pretty sure Justin struggles with the perfectionism thing. Pretty sure. But nothing's ever going to be perfect. So we just walk this path together. And we have to bring our tribe in on everything. If I have a great day, I have a win, I'm usually going to call one of the people on the screen and tell them about it. If I have a shit day, usually Nate or Justin knows, because it's already in my gratitude in the morning, because I'm working on something from the day before, and it's good. They get a peek in the morning, and then we get a phone call later in the day, and we work through this stuff together, because we are 100% stronger together than we ever were as separate. So, that's what I got, Justin. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly, big homie. You're muted, so, it's really weird. I see your lips moving, but ain't no words coming out.
Yeah, because I do that often. You know what I mean? I like to see my lip move, because I'm sure I sound better with no sound. You know what I mean? For most people, I don't know.
Like one of those old kung fu movies,
Yeah. No, that's when it like catches up. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be, not exactly going sync with each other. It's like when your Wi-Fi is down. You're like, what's wrong with this movie?
Yeah, none of the words match the lips.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do this. This is screwing me up. Even the damn subtitles is screwing me up. Yeah, man, thanks, Caesar, for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And man, I need to come check out that meeting that you do. I need to stop playing. I'm not need to stop sleeping on you, bro.
Listen, man, I'm blessed. That thing, like my church asked me if I wanted to do it, and 2 other guys, and we put it on. But there's no expectation from the church for it to be like, oh, if you come to our little 12-step Bible study thing, you better go to our church too. So it's like a bunch of NA and AA people show up in the morning, and then when half of them stay, the other half high five and go about their day. And it's, it's nice. It's nice. We get to talk about our experiences with each step. And you've got people from multiple different fellowships, and you've got people in there that are just church people that have all their own struggles and identify with the stuff we're talking about. And they're baffled. They're like, man, if I had had something like this, yeah, this stuff's good for everybody. You don't have to be struggling with addiction for this recovery lifestyle to be good for you.
Yeah. What time is it out on Sunday?
9:30.
All right. Bright and early. Okay.
That's not that early for you, man. You've already had breakfast.
Bro, I live like an hour away, bro.
You do not live an hour away.
And on Sunday time, it's an hour away, bro. Okay?
Fair enough. I'll give you that. Sunday time's different.
All right. Let me say what's up to some people real quick. We got Tanya. What's up, Tanya? Good evening from Ohio. Been working on my testimony speech for a luncheon on the 20th. Prayers needed. You're going to kick butt. You just got to show up and bring that message. That's all you got to do. Good luck to you. And then we got old Russell. That was the short guy at the meeting. What's up with the red? Sean says willingness, honesty, and open-mindedness. That's the how of the program right there. What's up, Shannon? Good to see you. Loving my Hope Shop family in my car. That's right. Let's see. We got Sean says first time I actually see myself getting it right. That's right. Let's see. We got Kelly on YouTube land. Hey, y'all. We got Lisa. Recovery is a bitch. Just lost a sister. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Prayers for you and everybody, your whole family. I'm glad you're here though. I'm glad you're here. Kimberly says, I love you guys. Y'all have gotten me through so much. I'll have 18 months, the 22nd. Just got custody of my 15-year-old after 10 years. We do recover. Congratulations to you. That's so awesome. Thank you for that comment.
That's a hope shot right
That's
there.
Right there, right? I really hope y'all see this. I've been trying to remember remember the night watch live and finding out how for months just to let you know how much y'all mean to me. Well, thank you for commenting. Thank you for being here. Congratulations to you. That's so awesome. Let's see. Lisa says, I can't do religion. I do ink. We do both.
I do both.
I do both of them too. Nate, come on. Both of them?
You don't have to do religion. That's why we say we support all pathways. You don't have to do religion. That's just what I do. And it's not what I did early on.
And it's all about perspective, you know?
It's something that I grew into, but we are a multiple pathways podcast.
And this covers the whole faces down there. James Frank, what's up, buddy? For so long, whenever I'd get into recovery, I could never see the good happening. Because are you looking down on it? Because I was too busy stressing over the bad and the ugly. That this time around, don't put him in a box. Oh wait, he is. We're all in boxes. This time around, I looked for the good during the day. Talk about the bad and the ugly. The more I look at the gratitude side of things, I become more positive. Sometimes it's the little things. That's right. Yeah, it's the little things, man. And it's so, we get caught up, man. All we want to talk about is the problems, we get caught up talking about the negative stuff, the problems. Most time we just, that's what our mind goes to, what's wrong with this? Why is it the bad feelings? We don't talk about the good feelings. We're so focused on the bad ones that all the good stuff doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. The bad ones is what we talk about because that's just what it is. I don't know why we tend to do that. It's just what we do. I know I do it. Like one wrong thing ruins my day, but I had a bunch of good things happen, And, we want to, last night I was at a meeting and we were talking about surrender. And in that meeting, there's a bunch of people that shared about, a few things. And it was really, I loved it, especially with the steps. But one thing that stood out was like talking, sharing in meetings about, where we're at sometimes, where we're positioned because we tend to want to relate with, the newcomer, or we want to, not really put our good stuff out there. We don't want to talk about. We kind of like, we feel like it's like, what's that? What's that called? When you freaking talk about the good stuff and you're gloating. Is that what it is? How you say it? Come on, help me out.
Gloating, bragging,
gloating. Yeah. So I feel like that's where we get caught up. We don't want to talk about the good stuff, all the wins we're having, all these things. We just want to keep quiet. I've done it in my time, because you got people talking about, this misery and all these things are happening in their lives, and it's almost like you hold back, and I think that's sometimes that's I don't know, watering down my recovery at times, because I do want to talk about the good stuff, and it helps for the newcomer to hear about the good stuff too. But I lately I can take good stuff and turn into bad stuff too, because I get overwhelmed with life. I get overwhelmed with life and all this good stuff we're doing, and you get busy, and and then we take it and we're like, then we turn it into a problem, turn all this good stuff into a problem. And I hate when that happens. And I always have to flip that around on myself. You know what I mean? I sit here and complain about this life, and like, why am I complaining? I shouldn't be complaining. I should be happy and grateful. Because there's a time, man, when I had true misery, self-inflicted misery. And I forget real quick about where I came from. I made a quote earlier about it. It's like, looking back, man, I have to look back on where this whole recovery process started, with the eyes of humility. Because if I don't, it's like, I'll never be grateful for where I am right now. I only see it. It's like, because once you get so far past, man, it's almost like this is regular, normal life. This is life. You know what I mean? And forget about the. Are you holding your hand up?
Can you boot this person out of the comments for me?
Which
I'm
one?
sorry.
Oh,
when they start replying to people and trying to tell them some BS, I just would like to see it on.
All right. Thanks, Caesar.
Sorry.
A little awkward. I was like, what is this dude doing? But it's like, man, I can get caught up and turn like just so ungrateful, and just everything's a problem, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's just everything's a problem. And then I'll complain about every situation and every little detail. And I just don't want to live like that anymore. I ain't got space for it. I really don't. And that's where I really got to bring it back a little bit. If I'm starting to complain, we got to see, why am I being like this? Why am I starting to complain about all these good things that are happening? It doesn't matter if they're good or they're bad. I haven't really had a bad thing happen. I haven't had something really, really, really bad, like detrimental to my life, since I stopped using, that's self-inflicted anyways. Okay. We've had things happen, but nothing that's like self-inflicted. Things happen in life. Life happens. Life be lifing. I really like that one, by the way. Life be lifing. And you have to go with the flow of it, because if not, man, listen, it can get to that point where you could complain about you're not having enough money in your bank account, even though your bank account looking great. You know what I mean? Like it looked good, but not that good. You know what I mean? Like, you can complain about that. Complain about your vehicle. At least you got one, man. I remember when I had some beater, it'd break down every day, or I had to walk or ride my bike with 2 buckets of tools on it to get to work because I didn't have a vehicle, because I lost my license and I couldn't have it for a year and change. So I remember those things, but I have this built-in forgetter, though. I'll forget about it. And, and I have to bring it back, man. It's like, bro, I remember when I wish I had a house. I wish I had, I remember when I couldn't even, yes, right. Thumbs up. I remember when I couldn't even rent a house, you know, everybody kept telling me no, I couldn't rent nothing. You know, it's like, what the hell? You know, and now I own my own house and I'm sitting here complaining about something breaking or things not going exactly as planned with my house. Or I'm like, you know, just I can go down a rabbit hole real quick, you know, and I definitely just don't want to live like that anymore. So I have to look at why am I complaining about the things that I used to pray for, you know? And it'll bring me right back real quick, you know? So yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what was this thing talking about up here? Happiness. Oh, okay. Oh, it's one of them.
Yeah.
Hit up Mr. freaking Uka Luka Shakalaka on freaking Instagram and freaking he'll do some witchcraft on you.
But exactly what you said is why we started that gratitude list, because I literally found myself bitching and complaining about the stuff that I prayed for. And I'm like, this is not okay for me to act like this. You know, oh man, for 9 years, I wish I had a license. In year 10, I got my license. In year 11, I was bitching about traffic. Gratitude is short-lived. Prayed, help me get a job. Oh man, this job sucks. You know, help me get a house, man. I need a bigger house. It's like, no matter what, it's so short-lived. And the truth of the matter is, spoiler alert, external things will never bring you internal happiness. It's just not a thing. It's not going to happen. You know, that internal joy comes from the way you live your life. It comes from being of service and being a good person. That's when the internal peace and joy come into your heart. I can buy a brand new TV, and then the next day I'm like, man, that's a stupid TV. I wish I had a bigger TV. You know, like it's short-lived. I know Rachel waited forever to get her license, and she got her license. I guarantee you she's at least flicked off 15 people in traffic. I haven't even seen her drive, but I can almost guarantee you with 100% accuracy that she's done it. It is what it is, man. We got to search outside of ourselves to find that happiness inside of ourselves.
Well, let's go ahead and segue into Rachel. You know, how many people have you flicked off? I'm just wondering. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of people.
We can't count that high, guy.
Hey, you got to unmute yourself. Nope, still got it.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
The host did it, so I couldn't undo it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So I probably tried to fight at least 5 people. But then I keep going. It's fine. And then I pray. I pray for them and me. And I remind myself joyfully and gratefully.
Oh, what you got on the good, the bad, and the ugly there, Rachel?
So when I heard the topic, the good, the bad, and the ugly, it kind of hit me a couple of different ways. And I related to a lot of what you guys said. The good, the bad, and the ugly of life, it's kind of just like, you know, and the good and bad and the ugly of recovery. Like, how do you walk through that good, bad, and ugly? Because life shows up in all different kinds of ways all the time. And how I walk through that determines like how I'm going to show up and share at meetings. And if I bring people into what I'm struggling with to help me, you know, lately I've been dealing with like a lot of ups and downs and changes, you know, Russell having the accident and stuff and things just changing. And there's probably a lot more that I could share on my struggles with that I haven't really talked about, you know what I mean? And that's not really letting people into what I'm struggling with. I'm guilty of sharing more of the bad, I think, and my struggles than I do the good, like Justin was saying. Like when I got my license and when I started working with y'all, like those were things I don't feel like I shared enough of. I don't think that I told people enough about how difficult of a struggle it was to get there. And then like when I finally got there, I don't think I put the same energy into sharing the fact that I achieved what I was going after all this time. I just shared all along about the struggle and running in circles and the frustration and like all of that I brought to meetings and I shared with people. But when I actually reached a milestone. I don't think that I shared it enough because I felt like I was gloating or bragging or, you know, you get those feelings like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. And like, we're not supposed to talk like that, you know? So the good, the bad, and the ugly for me is just life on life's terms. I have showed up in this thing from the very beginning, sharing the ugly. Like I was in so much pain and fear from my rock bottom that I showed up in my first meetings just sharing raw and wide open and like absolute pain and stuff that made no sense and that had people looking at me like I was crazy for talking about like all the spiritual stuff and the pain that I carried for so long and suffered in silence. I was finally just like vomiting on people. And so I never had an issue with being raw and open about my pain or my struggles. I have a hard time sharing the good when I'm winning, when I achieve something that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not supposed to put that so on blast. You know what I mean? Like, am I really being acting in humility or being humble if I'm tooting my own horn? You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. And that I feel like is just another lie. You know what I mean? Because I'm robbing people of seeing the perseverance and all of that went into me continuing to chase after my dreams and the things that I wanted to achieve. Like I had struggled for years, you know, to get my license, to get a decent job, to try to get beyond sober living and all that stuff. And I always felt like I was running in circles and I constantly shared that with people. But now that my life is in this period of transition where I'm starting to begin the transition out of transitional living, even though I don't want to admit that's what's happening, you know, I'm getting ready to transition out of that phase of my life. You know, I've stepped into a job that's more of like a grown up, you know, real, you know, career, like you know, an important job that helps me give back to people in my community. Like, you know, it's scary. So I feel like maybe that's a part of why I don't want to talk about it as much as I probably should and share it with all the people that have struggled with me for years and years and you know, continue to push me. I don't know. I don't really know the answer for that. I do know that like showing up to my meetings with my fellowship, with my circle, whether I'm having a great day and I'm winning and I'm shining and it's like rainbows and unicorns everywhere, or like when I'm you know, gutted and my mom just died and I'm in a meeting, you know, snot crying from my soul. You know what I mean? The good, the bad, the ugly. We show up, we talk about it, and we let people in. And whether it's to clap with us or walk with us when our knees buckle or whatever it is, like we cannot do this without each other, you know. And there have been so many times. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because my mom's picture is right here. So when I'm talking, I feel like I'm talking to her and I'm getting a little emotional. There have been so many times when like Russell's accident a few weeks ago, when my mom died, those were big moments where like my knees buckled, you know what I mean? And like everything stopped. And I was functioning on autopilot in trauma brain. Like nothing made sense. Nothing was landing. I couldn't remember anything. I was on autopilot. And if I didn't have the routine that I had and the trusted people that I have around me, I don't know where my feet would have went. You know what I mean? But in the moments after Russell's accident, I was surrounded by people of my fellowship that I trust in those moments to like make my decisions for me because I am completely incapable of making a rational choice right now, you know? And so that to me is what the good, the bad, and the ugly is, like solidifying your circle, like building an army that is solid to carry you when your knees buckle, because your knees are going to buckle. The ugly is going to come, you know, and how you get through it depends on who you have standing to your left and to your right and what you do on a daily basis. Like the vigilance of this thing has saved my life more times than I can count. Like even when I didn't know what was going on, my feet were already walking to a meeting. I was already going somewhere to share about what just happened. When my mom was dying in the hospital, when she was transferred to hospice, like I would be there, and at come meeting time, it was time for me to leave. I'd go to a meeting and I'd come back. And that is the only way that I survived the ugly of life when it's lifing. That's it.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Yo, and that's where when things are good, we have to prepare for the bad and the ugly. You know what I mean? Not saying we're preparing for it to get like that, but it's gonna happen. Life be lifing, and we have to prepare for the life to be lifing. You know, and that's exactly. You know, it's cool when people do show up when they're going through stuff, and you see them there at the one place. You know, it's like, man, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that shows an example of what we're supposed to do when shit hits the fan. You know. And then the good times, we prepare for those when shit hits the fan. And that's why you put in the work, even on the good days, because bad days are gonna happen, you know? So, you know, Rachel, you're a prime example of when stuff like that happens, you know, what to do. So let's say what's up.
Your training kicks in automatically, like you just said. If you do it on the good days, that training kicks in automatically on the bad days. It's incredible.
Yep. Autopilot too. It's like bam, not even
and
a
that's
question.
Why, no matter where my life goes or what transition I'm in, I maintain the same number of meetings that I've been doing all this time because that's my training. You know what I mean? Like I need that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, thanks for coming on tonight, Rachel. I appreciate you.
I love you guys.
The grown up, that grown up job too. You know what I mean?
We're growing up too fast.
we all are. Let me see what's up with some people real quick. Let me go back up here to right before the weird stuff happened. We got Michael. Good evening to you. We have Jerry. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. We got Tanya says we need to find joy every day and use a gratitude journal. It helps immensely, and that's a fact right there. That's preparing for the bad days. You know what I mean? Every day, gratitude. We got Rudolph says, "What's up, guys? Been missing y'all." Crystal, it says hello to. Caesar's face just looked like someone gave him decaf coffee. I think that's when your hand went up very slowly.
I was afraid you were going to get really mad.
Yeah. Let's see. We have Sean says, I'm about 2 weeks away from getting a vehicle after 2 years without one. That's it. Hey, that's a hell of an accomplishment right there. And it's going to feel so good. And you should share about it. Yeah. Somebody else needs to hear that hope shot. And Kelly says, learning self-care in my recovery has been very difficult since I've put so much on my plate, but things that I'm so very compassionate about. Educating, spreading awareness, and saving lives. Realizing if I don't put myself in my recovery first, then I will not be able to help anyone eventually. And that's it right there, man. We got to make sure we put ourselves first, because I can get caught up too, man, with this. Just exactly what I was talking about, you know, is getting caught up with the good stuff and then become overwhelming and then turns into bad stuff. I don't know who's talking. Yeah. Wait. That's a great comment. We're a bunch of weirdos. Yes. We should do that more often when that stuff pops up. Let's see. We got Lisa says, happy April, y'all. Spring is upon us. Do some grounding and breathe. April's upon us. Definitely breathe. I got the pollen out there. We got Ito. For some reason, this song just came in my head. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl with a kid. I would call her. That's, you know, that song pops in my head way more than it should at times. Okay, so I'm with you, buddy. Let's see. We go down here. We got Katie. What's up, Katie? Said, "Oh, hi, friend." She's talking to you, Rachel. We got Jenny says, "Yes, thank you, Rachel. Totally relatable." And Kelly says, sending you my love, Rachel. Very sorry for your loss of your mom. Shannon says, love when Rachel speaks. She be spitting that. Life be life and love it. Yes. We got Missy says, I feel like life on life's terms is a roller coaster. And so many of you guys show me that anything is possible and keeps the positive momentum. Yeah, because life be life. And I mean, I think that's going to be the term for the week. I'm going to have it everywhere. Because it does, and it's okay, and what are we going to do about it? We're going to be all sourpuss and get all bent out of shape over life, and then and ruin the day, maybe blow up on somebody for what? Like, go with the flow. Right, Nate? Go with the flow. You guys, Sean says, I've heard and learned about it takes a village since I was a kid, but didn't get it until I started taking my recovery first. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, because we talk about them kids being raised by a village. Everybody always be talking about that. Let's see. We got Lisa says, when my world crashed and I lost my love, I don't know how I'm here today. Well, I'm glad you're here, and that's all that matters. Joey says, today I was 10 months without a drink. Congratulations, Joey. We got Michael says, pray, plan, and prepare for that in which you wish to receive. Manifest. Make the commitment to and follow through. That's right. That was a rhyme right there. Nate, what's up?
What up, y'all?
How was your Sunday? I didn't do that.
Was...
Rachel, we're going to get back to you. We're going to come back to you and ask you that too.
Yeah. My Sunday was super chill. I did fix the toilet handle, so I kind of feel like a freaking astronaut right now. Like I work for NASA.
Bro, you just started putting business cards together, bro.
I know, handyman. And I replaced the air filter. I'm not that guy, by the way. These are big deals to me. No. Blessed day. Got to see my dad. Got to go see the house, Justin. That was cool. And bunch of, and then just a lot of rest and relaxation this weekend. Much needed. I've been ripping and running. So this is a great topic, man. I don't know what else I could possibly add to what everybody said already, but I'll try my best. Oh, Rudolph. I think he thinks that's a piano. It's a dresser, bro.
Remember when you did the little background thing and there's a piano in the background?
Oh, far out.
Yeah, he'll remember everything, bro. Better watch out. Pictures 1,000 words to him.
Yeah. So great topic. Caesar killed it. Justin, always. Rachel, great to have you. I love the perspective, and it's can relate to everything everybody said. I'm trying to think what came to mind. Okay, so one thing came to mind. I was just thinking about, this is based off something that all you guys said, but like context missing from a story makes the story not make too much sense, right? So it's on both sides of the spectrum. If I come into a meeting or in my personal life, whatever, if I only share about the struggle, everybody's just going to think I'm, a struggle bus, right? I'm just always struggling, and if I come into a meeting and I'm just, talking about all the good stuff, then how you don't even know who I am. What did it take for me to get to this point? Why is it a big deal for me to be, have a job, or to own my own business, or to get to raise these beautiful, help raise these beautiful kids with Danielle? Like, why is that a big deal to me? If I don't talk about the other side of each, topic, then, the story has no context. They don't really know where I'm coming from. But if I let you in and I tell you about what I've been through and where I've come from, then it gives the story some perspective. Then you can see, how far, and that goes for all of us in here. If I just came in here, and it's funny, this proves the point right here, because all people that just know me in recovery, they can't even conceive of some of the stuff I've been through. Like if I, and some of them don't really know to that full extent, you know. Do I share about, I share pretty raw at meetings, I really like to, but if I'm telling you about my past, you best believe that I'm going to tell you about the solution and how I got to where I'm at today, because that's what it's all about, right? If I'm not sharing the solution to the problem, then what's the point? And that's what we're trying to do here, is let me see here. Oh, anyway, what are you guys going through down there? You're distracted me, man. Caesar, all right? Okay. Anyway, I get distracted, man. So yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, I need to let people know where I've come from. And where I've come from isn't the prettiest. The things that I had to experience to get to where I'm at are pretty messy and pretty ugly. Some of the stuff that I've endured, some of the I don't really want to call them losses, but some of the experience that I've had, some of the main catalysts that sprung me into recovery, were some of the darkest times in my life. But here's like the how do I say this? Like the real miracle, I guess, or like the cheat code to life for my recovery is when the bad and the ugly becomes good too, because then they're I mean, I get messy. To this day, I get messy. I have bad days. I have very ugly, dark, insecure, fear wrought moments, right? I have bad nightmares. I think about my daughters. They've been super heavy on my heart. I went to Juliana's little spring concert this week, and they're doing a Finding Nemo like little performance, and I'm sitting there crying like a baby. And I'm like, why am I crying? And I'm like, oh fuck, because I'm wondering like if my daughters do this thing, if they perform at musicals or theater or what they're into, and but what happens is that bad and that ugly, it because I'm so plugged into this deal, and because I have an intimate relationship with a higher power, it transforms these like seemingly bad and ugly situations, and it allows me to see the blessing in it, or it gets me to a place, and I promise you, there's some bad stuff, there's some ugly stuff. It doesn't transform, but what it does, it's a benchmark for me to get closer to my higher power and to get closer to my fellows and to do some more work, to get closer to my solution and my truth. And but usually what happens is, it flips it, because here I am missing my daughter, but then I'm like, well, look what God gave me by giving me the opportunity to be in these kids' lives, and that's good. That's a blessing. That is the good side of the bad, right? And but it's that journey. It's that ability through faith, through spiritual practices, through applying the steps that I work on in my daily life, on a daily basis, not just saying I went through them, but actually, practicing them in all my affairs, like applying all this stuff in my life on a daily basis, right? It allows what is dark to become light, or it's a pathway to the light, because today there's nothing that's happening to me. It's all happening for me. And then that's like the beautiful thing about recovery. And Caesar was kind of touching on this already, it's just like how, there's certain things that I do on a daily basis, that put me in a position to perceive life as it comes through a different lens, right? In the literature I like to read, it's one of the ones I like to read. It says, it makes us look at something from a different angle, right? So like the bad and the ugly that was my past becomes my greatest asset. it becomes my greatest gift. It becomes this beautiful pathway into salvation, into forgiveness, into unconditional love. And it gets me, it's a vehicle, it's a vehicle that transports me closer to my higher power, right? You guys are my vehicle. All life's happenings when life be life, right? All these things are vehicles to get me closer to my solution, which is for me, God, and it's funny because I heard this speaker this week, and this guy, he had decades, right? And he's saying, I liked when this lady speak, but she was something uh, something she said used to bother me. She would always tell people, you need more God, more God, more God. And I feel like maybe sometimes that's how I come across. And, but the best, but he says, he's like, I don't need more God. I need less me. Right. Because your higher power, it's already there. It's an infinite, it's this beautiful source of power that's forever present. That's what Rachel called autopilot is that very thing. It's her higher power guiding her through when she can't do it herself, right? And for me, but in order for me to experience that, I need less of me involved in the equation, right? So it's not such a journey of seeking more God. It's a like a perpetual, diligent, daily discipline to have less of me involved. Because if there's less of me involved, then the more of my spirit, more of this, God can enter. So but sometimes it takes the bad and the ugly, to let that stuff in. And my goal, because we hear it all the time in the rooms, that pain is the great persuader, right? That and in order for me to really dig in and get busy and get to working on a certain solution for whatever scenario that I'm involved in, I have to experience some semblance of pain, right? My goal is to not have to feel the pain, and to be able to change. I want to be able to recognize, the benchmarks when things are getting uncomfortable, or, they are bad, or they are getting a little messy, and understand that if things appear to be bad and ugly outside of me, that means that they are bad and ugly inside of me. The only I perceive how I feel inside, how I view the world is a direct reflection of what's going on internally, because I could look at a situation and one day and think that it's the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. But and then the next day I could see it as a complete blessing, because it removed something from my life, or it led me in another direction, and this is like where we acquire faith, by going walking through these things and seeing that they always work out. And then the next time they come, maybe it won't be that much of a big deal. Right. So I'm grateful. I think it was in my gratitude this morning, if I'm not mistaken. I put I'm grateful to not be ashamed of who I was, who I am, or who I am becoming, right? Because my journey's just begun, and I get to it's such a beautiful thing that I can look back on my past and not be ashamed. I can look back at the ugly stuff and the bad stuff, and instead of being overcome with sadness, or loss, or pain, or whatever, I look back and I can smile, you know and I can take that experience and transform it into like one of my greatest weapons. And that for me is like, being able to shake that load and cut that weight off my neck. It was one of the greatest freedoms I ever experienced. And but yeah, lately, so yeah, the good, bad, the ugly. I believe with the right amount of with less of me and more of God in my life, the bad and ugly becomes the blessings as well. And the things that I'm walking through that seem super difficult or overwhelming or, seemingly impossible to get over or through, they become something that helps me grow, helps me get closer to my higher power, helps me get closer to you guys, and kind of peels off another layer and allows me to learn a little bit more about myself. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it all. But if when it comes to, I have to be able to translate that correctly, in a meeting, or because if I am not, I love what Caesar said. If my first sponsor, because I said the whole first year, I'm not going to say anything. I've been talking shit going in and out of these rooms since I was 16 years old, right? I'm like, I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to listen. And he's like, you're doing somebody a great disservice. And I'm like, why? He's like, because somebody needs to hear your message. And I'm like, well, what do I share? I have no frame of reference. I don't have recovery. I don't know what these people are talking about. He's like, talk about your struggles. Everybody can relate to your struggle, and that's something I've held on to, because I feel like regardless of how much time you have or if you speak honestly from your heart about struggling in this deal and trying to become a better human being and trying to build a relationship with this higher power and try to get closer to, whatever my purpose and truth is, you can't go wrong. And so for me, it's just about, nurturing that relationship, less of me, more of God. And also I'll end with this, and giving myself grace for being bad and ugly sometimes. If I'm not doing, if I feel messy or insecure or fearful, or I'm lacking faith, doesn't mean I'm doing recovery wrong. And it just means I'm fucking human. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to, and I have to give myself a little space to be messy and ugly and not judge or beat the shit out of myself for it. Right. Because that is my struggle. If I get something wrong, or something happens, or something, I am doing this thing wrong. But it's not about me, and guess what? People in recovery get it wrong a lot. People out there get it wrong. It's just a human condition. We stumble, we fall. Thankfully I have a spiritual solution. I have a strong relationship with my higher power, and I have a great network of people that keep me accountable. And, for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this topic. Thank you guys for the space to share. Good stuff. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
That was good, Nate. You brought a lot of, just jump right in. This is a conversation section.
No, I was just trying to do it. I just wanted to do it once just to feel what it felt like.
But what he was just saying, like my first year or two, I was just sharing what I thought was like just the solution, just the right thing to say all the time. And as I've grown in this deal, I really like sharing about all the mistakes I made and all the dumb stuff I did. And because what's more relatable than screwing it up, man? We've all screwed something up on this path. I don't try to pretend like I'm perfect anymore, but I was so afraid of other people's opinion early on that I wanted to sound like I was, the 12-step master, like I had the answer in the book, in the page, in the paragraph. Well, there's a book for that. What good am I doing anybody around me? They just open the book up. They don't need me to open my mouth and regurgitate what's in the book. But it took a lot of work and a lot of ego deflation and a lot of getting comfortable in my own skin to be able to go, hey, man, I'm still here. Like, I'm still coming around, and I did this wrong and I did that wrong. And I've used 12-step literature like it was a damn brick to hit people over the head with instead of leading with love and tolerance. And I'm still here. So you can make mistakes. The one mistake I didn't make is I didn't pick up something. I didn't pick up a drink or a drug. Other than that, I fumbled my way through this like most of us do. And the good, the bad, and the ugly is we have to share every piece of that, because if it's only the good, then there's zero power in that story because there's no transformation. If it's only the bad and the ugly,
there's no solution.
People are like, well, that guy's just a disaster and he's always been a disaster. So they have to see the whole picture, man. You know, look at this car wreck so you can see the beauty of me walking in life today. You know, that's why it takes all of it.
Yeah, and Caesar, we've all seen it. Like it's a dangerous thing that, you know, people that have time will hang on to stuff that's just killing them inside, and they go back out and they don't make it back because they have too much pride, because they feel like I should have it together. No, you shouldn't have it. We have a past, man. We are like late adults here.
Dude,
you know,
I've got 5 years. I shouldn't be having these problems. What are you talking about? Life is so hard. We should have these problems. We just have a whole tribe to help us get through them now.
You might listen. You might learn the lesson at 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, you might.
You might finally, you might stop hitting your head against the wall. You might.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I take suggestions pretty good,
bro. Huh? Though.
I mean,
addictive, right? Huh?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So good, once you pop, you can't stop. Unfortunately, you know that's for me, anyways.
They're so good.
I know it's a problem.
It's not a problem.
You know what I'm hooked on right now? Listen, I'm making those protein ice cream sandwich waffle deals, and I got them on lock in my freezer, and I eat one every night because I can. I want to write that down. Because I can. Just want to put that out there. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to touch on that because when he was saying that, I was like, man, I could just see myself, you know, back then. Oh, I can't wait to share. That guy said it wrong. I'm going to quote the book and I'm going to, you know, like I was such a turd. Nobody likes that. And nobody likes that guy. You know?
You're still a turd.
I've sponsored people and I've seen them do the same thing, and you just got to give them enough rope. Just go ahead, man. See how that works out for you. I did it. It's not fun. Yeah. It's not a good way to be.
And it sucks trying to be perfect. I'll tell you right now, it sucks trying to hold up that freaking that is a whole nother thing, because man, you're just beating yourself up the whole time. You know, we're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. You know, and they just become less and less of a catastrophe, you know, being this thing, you know, when I do stuff wrong all the time, man. But going with the flow is what I've been practicing lately, and not letting the little stuff bother me. Like today, you know, I had something come up. I got aggravated, man. I was aggravated. There's a couple things in my life that I do really well, you know, and when you know, you get tested in this life, man, and you're just like, you know what? It's not even worth it anymore, man. It is what it is, dude. Move on, you know? And it becomes easier, you know, and it becomes easier over time. And it took a long time to get to that, even just a little bit of that situation right there, you know? And I think I handled it with grace, you know, for what it was, you know? So, yeah, I see that. Justin, did you just say protein waffle ice cream? Something that sounds as healthy as vitamin B12 infused bacon covered funnel cake. What the hell? That's not even close. That's not even close. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is really good. Okay, it is really good. It just doesn't have all the sugar. Like, it doesn't have so much sugar. It is Cool Whip. Okay, reduced fat Cool Whip.
How many calories, Justin? Tell them how many calories.
It's 100 calories per sandwich. Okay. And it has, I don't know, I forget what the protein is, but it's really good. Listen, it is those simple things that I do to curb my obsession with sweets. And I have to do that for myself. I know who I am and I know what I do. And I'm not going to sit here and be a freaking flyer at Twisty Treat all the time. I'm going to make some and put it in my freezer. And I'm going to freaking fly into my freezer. And it's 100 calories instead of 1,200. Okay.
So I can eat 5 of them.
Yes. I'm telling you, they're pretty good. They're made with protein powder. It's really good. And it's not B12 infused bacon covered funnel cake, you fruit.
Listen, all right, Justin, we need to have a class for
Yeah,
us on how to
listen.
make some of these things.
I just made my own chicken nuggets too. Okay.
See, I've got a recipe for that I want to do. Air
I just made
fryer,
it. It's
adult chicken nuggets sounds
yeah.
delicious.
I made it with multi-grain bread, and then I also put Caribbean jerk chicken seasoning in it.
Listen, you got to make those ice cream sandwiches in the flavor that we had at the Persian restaurant, the pistachio. I need those.
The yeller.
That was the saffron.
They were saffron.
Rose water.
Rose water.
I just joined and I'm hearing recipes. Listen, well, maybe you should join earlier. Now we're in the food department. That's how recovery works.
I'm serious though. Like when you get interested in something,
yes, I will.
You
Don't
go
invite
for it,
Wayne.
you're really good at it.
No. Listen, I'm big on. I'm a big foodie. I love food. Like, and I just want to. I don't know, man. I just like cooking. You know,
Hey,
I like cooking.
Wayne's got the machine at his shop. We could put on the class right there, and we can do a bunch of espresso too.
We don't need the machine, but maybe we should make a coffee ice cream deal. The machine is for ice cream, actual ice cream. But
I don't even know what you're talking about. I just know it's a waffle ice cream thing, so I assumed there was a machine involved.
But Wayne has the same machine, and he makes coffee.
I don't make it with that. I don't make it with the creamy. This is just Cool Whip and protein powder, and then you take there's like a little mini waffle maker, and you put like protein powder and some other things and a bunch of other stuff together, and you make your waffles.
I love this conversation.
I'm dying that we're.
Kelly,
it kind of just dawned on me that
Kelly and I made Justin's
about this.
keto cheesecakes, and they were gross.
Listen, but we did it really bad. It was not the right. It was not. We did it all wrong, and it just
Wrong.
I failed at it. That's not a fair comparison. They really were gross, but it was a bad job.
All right, so does that mean we got to hang out? We got to get everybody together, and we're going to do some things and stuff.
Please.
If we have a sober night where we cook and make ice cream, we can do it at Wayne's shop because he's got coffee too, the good coffee. Let's do it.
Or you guys can come over here and do it.
Yeah.
Or we can go to your house and do it. We have so many options.
Yeah, we should just come there so it's centrally located.
I'm hungry, man.
I live way too far for y'all.
You're killing me,
You
man.
know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know how the hell did we just round up in here.
I made
We're sorry, y'all.
y'all
Y'all just went to a squirrel moment. All right.
Sorry.
You're welcome. Yes, but it's those little things. Hey, listen, it's those little things that help you to, let it be good. Not so bad and ugly. Those little things make it not so bad and ugly, right? It's just those little tweaks.
And look, we're trying to better ourselves. We still want to eat the sweets. We just don't want to be fat.
Listen, I do use Cool Whip unsupervised, and that's none of your business, Rudolph. How dare you?
Mind your business, Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph. Shh. Tell everybody about your red nose.
Ruthie.
Why don't you go fly a drone or something?
Man, hope you guys got something out of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I hope maybe it changes your perspective a little bit. Maybe it's not so bad after all. Maybe it's good for you. Maybe that bad and the ugly is good for you, like Nate said. Change your perspective, think of it differently. And if you're going through something right now, and I hope it does get better for you. I hope the struggles you start seeing more wins. I also encourage people, if you guys go to 12-step meetings or if you go to meetings, general fellowships, share about the good, share about the bad, and share about the ugly, man. We need it's a happy medium at all. We need to have it balanced, like a good breakfast, balanced. Okay. That way we're ready for the week, the day, all of it. But we love y'all, man. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next week. Hold on, I got to do some things and stuff. We'll see you next week right here. And till then. Oh, wait, hold up. Wait, let's do no. I always get balloons and freaking that.
Mine doesn't do anything, so I just got to do my hearts.
Oh, you want to do hearts? Wait. Damn. damn it. I can't do hearts.
I can't do anything.
I really suck at the hearts thing. All right, y'all. I love y'all. See ya.
Bye.